This is BPCC, brought to you by the Division of Communication and Performing Arts.
Best introduction I've had in 19 years here at BPCC. Thank you so much.
So, how did you get started over at how did you get started at BPCC?
Well, you know, it was one of those things where I think it was just meant to be. There was an ad placed in the newspaper, and I happened to read the classifieds that day, and I applied. And 19 years later, I'm still here at Bossier Parish Community College. Been through, let's see what this is, our third chancellor. We've moved campuses during that time. We've been under 2 governing bodies. And you know, and I have seen this school grow exponentially. It has gone from this small, I think there was like 4,000 maybe when I started here, and now we're, over 7,000. So, you know, it's just been that great place to work, and it's a family here at BPCC. So it was kind of one of those things that I think was meant to be.
Okay. Was there any encouragement or incentive?
You know, I think just the great people. The great people and the great students that we have. A lot of our students are first-generation students, so they have not had someone in their life previously that has mentored them for a college education. And I think that's one of the wonderful things as a perk of my job, is that I get to help those students, and I get to explain to them the whole story of college, and help them and guide them through that experience. So, you know, that was kind of a little bit about how I got here, and you know, I stayed because of the family atmosphere, that's for sure.
Yeah, the rest is history.
That's right.
So I already know your title by now, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know your title. So what is your title, by the way?
Well, I'm the Director of Student Life, and with that title comes many hats, as you well know.
Yeah.
I also, I work as an academic advisor for our cheer and dance teams. I'm also the advisor for student government, and serve on various committees around campus. One of the ones that I have been on the longest is our BPCC 100, our mini NASCAR race. So I wear different hats depending on the day and what's going on that particular day. But Director of Student Life is my official title. That's right, quote, unquote.
So can you tell us a little bit about your job?
Okay, a little bit about my job. Let me just start by saying no day is ever the same. And that is a wonderful aspect of my job, because just before I came over, I had a student in my office who, I actually had 2 students. One is transferring after this semester. She will have completed her degree at BPCC, and I've helped her navigate the system and try to figure out where she wants to go to school for her major, which is elementary education. So we were having some discussions just earlier today about that. I have another student who was in my office who's going to transfer to Stephen F. Austin. And so we were working on looking at a curriculum sheet from Stephen F. and from BPCC, and trying to match those and pair those so they can get the best bang for their buck. So, you know, that was one hat I was wearing. Here I am as, you know, on your show. I leave here, I go back to Building F, and we're going to do a costume contest for faculty and staff today. So
we did all the students yesterday.
That's right.
And I hope some of y'all dressed up.
Yep.
Elmore, you're guilty because you did not wear a costume. That's off the record.
So there's no dull moment with what I do, you know, and it changes from minute to minute. So one minute I can be an academic advisor, and the next minute I'm directing student organizations or helping SGA put on an event.
Yeah.
So
You're basically all over the place.
I'm pretty much all over the place. That's right.
You're basically like Dr. Bateman in a degree.
Well,
On a
I
smaller
aspire
scale.
to be doctor on a smaller scale. That's right. That's on a much smaller scale.
So can you give us a little bit? Can you give us a little insight about the Student Government Association?
Well, you know, every student government association has been different over I actually got student government a year after I got here. So 18 years I've had SGAs. And every SGA has been different. I happen to think this year's SGA is a remarkable student government association. They have the best interest of the students in mind. They want to make a difference here. They have a great team has come to the table for SGA. We actually did a leadership retreat a couple of weekends ago, and that was phenomenal. We did a ropes course out at out of Ruston,
The Owl Center?
at the Owl Center. Thank you. And in Duboc, Louisiana. And if you've never been to the Owl Center, I definitely encourage student groups to go out, and you will definitely become a team out there. The ropes course was great. And so I think SGA this year is a wonderful blend of students, varying majors, not all opinionated, although, you know, there are opinions that float through, and they are able to discuss them and come to a real strong, logical agreement and know why that they have done or made the choices that they have made. So I look forward to, you know, it's almost the end of the fall. We only have a few more weeks left. And so I look forward to those few weeks, and then we'll start again in January.
Okay, looking forward to it. How does one join the Student Government Association?
Well, we do elections twice a year. We'll do them in April, and we'll do them in September. So April, everything is on the table. All of the three executive officer positions, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, they will become open, as well as all 16 representative positions, because this term for this group will end in May. So in April, the end of April, the student body will elect a whole new SGA.
Now some of the current now are SGA. Now there's no term limit to the representatives.
That's correct.
They can rerun, which gives them, and since they're already incumbents, it gives them a better chance of getting reelected.
That's correct. So in April, we will do an election, and then the spots that are not filled in April, we will have another election in September. And so those open positions will roll over to September, and students, you know, and especially the freshmen. The freshmen are always so excited because maybe, you know, they've been in student council or they've participated in high school. So that gives them also an opportunity to run for office coming in September.
And our sophomores, probably some of our current freshmen might be rerunning again, even because the sophomores, like me, who are leaving, I got one more semester at two more. I got it next fall before I leave, and then so I might just rerun myself.
There you go. Yep. Yep.
So, what are the requirements?
Well, you have to be at least a part-time student to be a representative, and so representatives can be at least 6 hours or more. And that is open to anyone who meets that criteria of 6 hours and a 2.0 GPA. Obviously, you know, if we have below a 2.0, academics is probably where we need to focus at that point. And then for our 3 executive officers, they have a 2.5 grade point average, and they have to be a full-time student. So that means 12 hours or more for those executive officers.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Herbert. We'll be back to This is Pepsi right after these messages.
My relationship with music started when I was about 6 years old.
What happened was I just went to the piano and I started playing For Elise by memory.
They had a career day and a musician came to the class and he did a little demonstration, played saxophone, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do the rest of my life.
Wound up being a music educator, and it's been my life for the past, I can't even count how many years. In high school, I wanted to be a professional trumpet player, and it turned out music education was really where I needed to be. And for all these years, that's where all the time and the effort has taken place.
What I get out of music, it's like an expression of the soul, and I hate to sound sappy, but it is. It's like anything that you feel, you can convey it without words.
It takes me to a place where my words don't know how to get me, if that makes any sense. When I don't know how to put my emotions into words, there's almost always a song out there that can do it for me.
Some of the things I get out of teaching personally is actually seeing students get it. One of the subjects that I really love to teach is music theory. And many of our students come to us with a love of music and the hope of studying music and either performing professionally or being music educators. To get to that end, they need to study the music theory aspect of it. What do the notes mean? What's on the page?
Being a community college, you know, people look down on the college because of that, and I think they're wrong. So the quality doesn't suffer at all. I mean, it's unreal. They expect the same thing out of you at a community college as they do at a four-year institution.
And the concepts that you learn and, you know, techniques, and you can't find it at every school.
One of the main things that we try and do here at Bossier Parish Community College with our music students is to instill a good work ethic.
One of the scariest things that I've ever had to do was get up on the stage to do my student recitals like everybody else is required to do as a major, but the instructors help you through it. I mean, they're great. You couldn't ask for a better program here.
When I leave Bossier Parish Community College, I'm gonna go get my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna go get my doctorate and hopefully teach at a college.
One of the aspects of our music program that we're always working on is recruiting quality and talented students.
This is BPCC, brought to you by the Division of Communication and Performing Arts.
Okay, how do students get involved in the Student Government Association?
Well, you know, a lot of students have been involved maybe in high school, and so they enjoyed that experience that they had with student council, with various organizations in high school. So when they go to college, that traditionally student government associations are at all institutions, no matter where you go. They're run a little differently depending on if it's a 2-year or 4-year school. And so they seek us out usually to find out, hey, I want to join, when are elections? They come up to the Student Life office and we give them the application, or it's all online too. So if they're up late at night, like I know you are sometimes, and surfing the web, they can certainly, you know, just Google Bossier Parish Community College Student Government Association, and that'll pop right up, and it gives you all the information right there that you would need in order to submit your application.
Sometimes we've had sophomores that have actually ran for SGA, and this has been their first time, but they have experience just in going to school here.
That's right. Yes.
Even though they have some of them may have never had student council experience.
That's right, exactly. And you know, a lot of it is with students, it's their passion for the college. It's their love for BPCC. It's their drive and their desire to leave their legacy and to leave their mark here at the college and to be remembered. So, you know, a lot of students, that's what drives them. And, you know, to be perfectly honest, it looks good on a resume too.
True.
So, you know, that's always kind of that underlying thing that I tell students. It looks great on a resume that you were involved, and no matter what organization that we have here, and we have over, gosh, I think 25 organizations now, but particularly Student Government Association, all employers know the benefit of that at various institutions.
Yeah, I can see that. What can you tell me? So basically, it's a good thing. It'll look good on people's resumes in a way. I already put that on my LinkedIn profile.
There you go.
So, can you tell me what can you tell about some of our fine organizations and clubs that we have here on campus?
Oh, wow. Well, you know, we've really gotten into the last few years a lot of what I call major specific organizations. And our nursing program is one of the ones who they have phenomenal organizations for students to join. Things that relate to the majors that we have. So oil and gas, engineering, education.
English.
We have some honor societies as well. So we have an English honor society. We have a nursing honor society, and then we have Phi Theta Kappa, which is our international honor society, and it doesn't matter what your major is.
Sadly, we just don't have anything. We have for here, we have a communication club, which Elmore hosts, is in charge of, but we don't have any honor societies per se.
Well, and that's something that you guys could certainly work for and work towards. Communication Media is another one of those organizations that are what we call major specific. So it helps when those students, those like-minded students who have the same interest, the same major, they come together, maybe even bringing in, I know our engineering folks, they bring in people who are already working in that field, maybe even former graduates that they've had. And that would go for you guys. Maybe some of our local news stations could come in and be guest speakers at the meeting.
Or a field trip.
Or a field trip, that's exactly right, to tell you what it's like to actually, on a day-to-day basis, live in that, you know, comm media world that you guys are studying right here. So you're a perfect example of what we call a major specific organization. That's a wonderful thing to back up the education that you're getting inside the classroom.
As Dr. Bayman always says, get involved.
That's right.
He always mentioned that we won't, for the people that are representatives in the SGA or the president, they want to leave BPCC in a better place than they found it.
That's right. That's right.
So, what percentage of students are involved in the organizations?
Well, you know, that's kind of a difficult thing to measure. We are a commuter school, and so it's kind of tough because people have challenges and they have life sometimes that gets in the way. Maybe it's a child they have to take to the doctor, and you know, so they can't be as involved as they wanted to be that semester. Maybe that child was sick and needed medical attention for that semester. I would guess, if I had to guess, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 15%, 20%. But probably on the low end just because of the nature of a lot of our students who work full-time or have families, and it's very difficult for them to balance, you know, involvement in an organization, school, full-time status, and your family. That's very difficult.
True. Well, since our interview is concluding, if students would like to contact the Student Government Association or Student Life, what would be the best way to get in contact with you or me or any other member of the SGA?
Okay. Our office is located, the Student Life office is located in Building F. F is for fun, I like to say, on the second floor, room 220. And we are open from 8 until 4:30, Monday through Friday. They're welcome to stop by. We have a very strong presence on the web, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So you could just Google Student Life at Bossier Parish Community College. Something will come up. You can go on the search engine in Facebook or any of those other social media sites and Google Bossier Parish Community College Student Life, and you could reach out to us that way. We're always answering emails constantly. We all keep them up in our office and you know, can respond instantly, as well as with the social media. So definitely reach out to us if you have questions, and we'd be happy to try to help you.
Hopefully we can see that SGA website updated with the current members.
Yes, we are working on that, exactly.
Is there anything you would like to leave our fine students with? Is there anything like you would like to leave lasting with?
You know,
like any piece of advice or anything like that?
My piece of advice is you only get out of something what you put into it. And I think that rolls over into your college education. So I think you guys are doing a fantastic job, this comm media division. You are totally hands-on with what you're doing. You're getting some great experience that you're going to be able to leave with and take that into the workplace. So continue to be involved. Continue to take those classes that teach you things such as your production classes and your television classes here. And, you know, you only get out of something what you put into it. So give it 110%, and it's going to pay off in the long run, I promise you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Harper. Thank you. Once again, I'm Shannon Union, and this is Pepsi.
I teach a wide variety of things, including film editing, directing, documentary making, lighting. I fell in love with art as a young child, and it's just always something that has stuck with me.
You know, I love the whole process of going on set, going back into the editing room, telling a story. That's what I really love about film.
I got laid off from my job, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity to go to school to get a degree for it.
As a kid, I was really into geeky stuff. I couldn't think of anything else that I would rather do.
They really provide you with the equipment and you know, the necessary tools in order to, you know, advance in a career, especially in communications field.
Well, one thing that really drew me to video production especially is it's just a way to reach people. And as someone who likes to communicate with other people, I felt that mass communication, especially broadcasting, was a tool that I could use.
You get some hands-on experience. They've got good stuff to work with. They really know what they're doing, and they're willing to pass it on.
When our students leave Bossier Parish Community College, they are equipped to get a job immediately, or they can move on to a 4-year degree.